superstars. Thank you for joining me again. I hope that you, your families, and your friends are still all safe and sound. We've spoken about winning, but today's session really is about putting it into some kind of a bigger context. So I start off my thinking and all of that by looking at a simple question. Why do you wear your colours? And by colours, I mean what you belong to. Your family, school, clubs, universities, services, business, profession, your nation. I mean, why do you wear these colours? Ferguson did a fantastic interview on the Harvard Business Review, and he was asked about how he created sustainable excellence in his team. And he said his first answer was, it's about the club, or in my language, the colours that you wear. You see, your team can win this week, but it can lose next week. But whatever happens, it has to contribute to the growth, the development, and the perpetuity, if you like, of the colours that you wear. Let me take that a step further. I don't know how many of you have watched the movie The Devil Wears Prada, but in it, Andy is ripped apart by Miranda, and she goes to see her pal Nigel, and she's complaining about how she's been treated and so on. And she's just out of university. She's trying to make a way in life, get some money in the bank. And he turned around to her and he said, you know, I know a lot of people who would die to work here. You only deign to work here. And I think that's a fantastic line. You see, when you belong to something, you don't deign to belong to it. You really belong to it. It owns you and you own it, if you like. Or let me take that a step further. And General Patton, when he's speaking to his troops, is reported to have said, it's not your job to die for your country, it's your job to live for your country. Make the other guy die for his. So what I'm trying to say is, what do you live for? Do you live for the colours that you wear? Just how close are you to them? What do you give to your colours? And what do the colours give to you? So the second question under that particular heading is, what do you fight for? Well, we've spoken about winning in performance. It's your performance. That's what you fight for. To give the best performance that you can give for the colours that you wear. And finally, what do you stand for? We have to own the values that our colours stand for. We have to live for these things. They can't just be things that we talk loosely about. They've got to be part of who we are and how we behave. I think there are three other questions, because that's the context, that's the bigger context. And what are these three other questions? First, what do you want? Second, how much does it cost? Third, are you prepared to pay the price? All that we can be. But that's in the context of the colours that we wear. In my world of sport, that could be preparing for the next Olympic Games. It could be trying to win the next World Cup. So first, what do you want? Well, that's about the performance that we're seeking, isn't it? It's about being better today than we were yesterday. But it's in a bigger context, isn't it? Because you belong to something. Somewhere up ahead of us, we have a dream about things, about where we want to get to. And if you like, that's a kind of a perfection. But you and I both know you never touch perfection in life, but you can touch excellence. You can keep redefining excellence. So you get this feeling that you're being guided towards this star ahead of you, this notion of the dream, this piece of perfection, and you keep continuing to build on your excellence. Now, the bit about that, of course, is that in my world, where you're either going for a World Cup or an Olympic medal or whatever, you're looking 4 years ahead. And because that's the case, what you're trying to aim for is not trying to be better than what excellence looks like now, but is to have in your mind what excellence will look like up there, what you're trying to get to. Dewey, back in a general back at the start of last century, came out with a great line when he said that victory smiles on those who anticipate the changing character of war, not those who wait till it's happened and then try to adapt. Now, I don't completely agree with him on that. I think you have to anticipate, but you also have to be able to adapt when you are going through the bumps and bruises of the journey. So how much does it cost? And I'm not talking about economics here. I'm talking about the sacrifices that you have to make on your journey to get what you want. I'm talking about the bumps and the bruises, being able to pick yourself up and keep yourself going. All of the stuff that's out there, that's the cost that you're going to have to face. And finally, are you prepared to pay the price? That's the will. That's your commitment. That's the persistence, the patience, and the resilience that you have to commit to in order to pay the price, in order to get what it is that you want out there. And I think we can do this together by being world-class at what I call our 3 R's. Each R stands for a responsibility. First responsibility is to deliver the performance of your life every time you go out there. Your second responsibility is for your own development, to keep on working at that so that you can keep raising your game. And the third responsibility is to coach, mentor, support other people on their journey. I mean, you've learned a lot through life, through your experiences. We have a responsibility in life, if we're truly working together, to let other people be beneficiaries of our experience in life. Now that I mentioned coaching, I think we should understand how coaches think. Coaches, you know, have got what I call 20-20 double vision. They've got to be able to focus on the dream and the milestone at the same time. The dream is kind of your long-term, right? What you're aspiring to, that world of perfection, if you like, out there. As John F. Kennedy said, if you can't imagine it, you can't do it. So we've got to have this picture of where it is we're trying to go, the dream. Or if you like to come back to what we're talking about, the colours, it's where we want the colours to go, where we want our family to aspire to, where the bigger dreams in life, where we want our team to get to, where we want our nation to get to. That's the big picture out there. That's your long-term strategy stuff. But then, of course, on the way, that could be the 4-year journey to get to the Olympics or to get to the World Cup and do well in that competition. So what then about the milestones? The milestones are any moment that's round about us that will influence our progress towards that greater goal. That could be this season's games. It can be the various stepping stones that we have to attend to this year. It could be, if you like, just taking care of business in the moment. I mean, if we don't take care of business, we're out of business. And these moments, these milestones, they're actually everywhere, all round about us. There can be working with another person. There can be trying to achieve a sub-goal. These moments are everywhere. And I borrow a few lines from the Scottish bard Robert Burns when I think about moments. I've modified the words slightly, okay? For moments are like poppies spread. You seize the flower, his bloom is shed. Or like a snowfall in the river, one moment white, then gone, forever. So how on earth do we manage to hit the milestones and achieve the dream at the same time? Well, this brings me back to my 3 R's. Your first R, for your own performance, I trust you to hit your milestones and your moments every time. Your second responsibility is us sitting here looking up at the dream saying, what do I have to do to be better, to grow, so that I can make that dream happen? And your third responsibility, in part, motivates, coaches, supports our colleagues to help them achieve their milestones, and in part belongs to their development plan so that they can be with us up there making the dream happen.
I think this piece of video captures what it is I'm trying to say. It's from a European Athletics Championships. 3 Italians are in the steeplechase final. Lambruschini is the favourite to win. Panetta is holder of the title, but only worth 4th place on paper. So if anything happens to Lambruschini, he'll at least get a bronze medal. Carosi is lucky to be in the final. Lambruschini is behind the red vest. To the left of the screen in the Italian vest is Carosi. At the back of the field with the funny headgear on, that's Panetta. 3 dark vests we're looking for here. Crash! Poor old Lambruschini is down. What? Panetta picked him up. I thought he was going to stand on his head and make sure he got a medal. But he turns round now and says, come on, son, I'll take you back up to the field. In Italian, that is. Now we go on to the back straight. There's Carosi. He's taking the initiative, going up with the leaders. There's Panetta, second from the right here, nursing the young boy back up to the field. He was now 2/3 of the way through the race. And into the lead goes Baumeister, cunning fox from Germany. He's got a lightning finish. He's deliberately slowed the race down because he can kill them all in the last lap. Who spots this? But Panetta. He charges to the front. What's he doing? I mean, there's no way he can sustain this pace all the way to the line. He's actually setting the scene for Lambruschini to come through. Lambruschini needed the pace, and there he is, the home straight. Lambruschini is going for gold. Carosi, so impressed by this way of behaving, follows him through. So Italy gets gold and silver. The colours get gold and silver. And where's the guy who made it all possible? There, Panetta, 8th place. Each athlete delivered a winning performance personally and for the colours they wear. They made the moment matter for Italy.
So what would be my coaching point to you in terms of these moments? Well, this is how I think about it. I want you to seek the moment. I want you to seize the moment. And whatever happens, never doubt yourself for a moment. Great speaking to you again. I do hope you will take time now to have a think about a point that you picked up either last week or this week that you think you can work on, that's important to you to help you in your winning journey. And if you like, you can share it below. Thanks a lot. See you soon.